And then this guy who I was acquaintances with, we were walking down the stairs and he's like, so what do you actually want to do? And I was like, well, I'm going to be an NFL reporter one day. And he just looked at me and he was like, yeah, that's crazy. That's never going to happen. As a woman, respectfully, and I'm not saying you can't do this, but people are just never going to take you seriously.
Hi, everyone. This is Ava, the podcast, and I'm your host, Ava Ojo. Today I have Emma Gerges.
Hi.
I wanted to talk to her about her journey in her career because I feel like us girlies in this sort of kind of abyss of your 20s, some people are figuring out what they want to do on their next move. And Emma's in sports media, which is like a different perspective, I feel like. Just go ahead and like introduce you. Who are you? How old are you?
Wow.
No, you don't have to say your age. No.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Feels like a dating profile. I'm 23. I'm single. Welcome to the club, everyone.
Yes.
My entire personality is football.
Yes.
I love it. I think that football's really made me into the person that I am.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always been super extroverted, but then going into college, I was very much so like, oh, the University of Minnesota has like 54,000 people. Who am I going to interact with?
Yeah.
And I became so introverted my first year, which was so out of pocket for me. I just was never the quiet person at all. And, you know, like I had a couple of friends, but then because of my passion for football, like I went to every single game. I would wait in line 2 hours before doors would open, sometimes by myself and sometimes with this one girl that I met during welcome week who was like, yeah, I love football. And we just ended up going to all the games together. That season, like, went to every single game. We went 10-0 for the first 10 games, which was the best experience of my life. Like storming a field at 18 years old with no college friends. I was just like, oh my God.
This is it.
This is the coolest experience of my life. I started working for the Gopher football team. That was really what opened up my world in football. Being able to interact with other people who are as passionate about football as I am was just such an amazing experience.
Do you mind saying what you're the host of and like what you created?
I have 3 podcasts actually right now.
Oh my gosh, 3?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, wow. Wow, I'm here with 1. I'm like, wow, pop off.
No, oh
my gosh.
I just like randomly started working. So the Minnesota Chamber of Commerce, I like met someone through some Wolves game and he asked me to be the voice of their podcast, which I was like, yeah, if you write the script for me, I'll read it.
Yeah.
So that is exactly what we do every week.
Yeah.
And I know nothing about business. So that one has nothing to do with me aside from like, that was a great job opportunity for me to just kickstart working in the podcast / like media side of my career. And then I have a podcast called Bleacher Talk. That one's like all entirely me. Like I do all the editing, producing, you know, hosting.
So you get me. No, you get me. Yes.
And then I work with Dinkytown Athletes, which is through the U of M, their NIL agency fun part of it. And I host a show for them called Behind the Game.
Okay.
And so that one, like, interviewing other athletes throughout the U of M, you know, football, baseball, basketball, hockey, like anything you can think of. That's so fun. I do like activities with them during those videos, which is so fun. Had guys paint, cook. It's just so funny.
Yeah, no, I've seen the cookie one.
Yeah.
that was really good.
I think it is so funny watching like 200-pound men, you know, trying to chef it up in Tony's diner.
Yes. Because you said like you're like an extrovert.
Yeah.
Do you deal with shyness? Like, do you deal with like being oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm doing this? Like the lights, camera, action, everything.
My first real interview, Fox 9 was helping me do Bleacher Talk to start off, which was really nice of them. They were helping with filming it for me, editing it, which was so kind of them. In a way, I was just like getting thrown into that world because it was my idea and they were just helping me with it. And they were like providing me with the people to help me succeed, which was so nice. And I just felt like I was like diving headfirst into something that I really have never experienced at all. I like filmed that before I did Behind the Game. So it was just like, you know, here's something that I want to do and I'm going to try it. And I'm going to be in front of a screen asking people questions and hopefully they don't hate me for asking certain questions,
Were you like a drama kid in high school and
No.
stuff? Like,
No,
so no
not
acting.
at all.
No.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Like, I took
Yeah.
classes at the U of M, like, for journalism, so I did projects
Okay.
for that. But
Yeah.
it was like I was interviewing my peers or
Mm-hmm.
like the quarterback at the U of M. But that was at the time. Him and I were such good friends where I was so comfortable with him,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't feel like it wasn't going to go viral on YouTube. Like, I knew it wasn't going to go viral. So who was really going to see it and freak out over that?
I find that so interesting how you were just given this and you just said yes to it.
Yeah.
And you had no doubt.
So for the longest time when I was working with the football team, I started losing a passion for working in sports media. I think because the passion to work in football in general was building so much stronger. And then at one point, I was like, well, I have to decide at the end of the day, am I going to stick with the major and like the career I'd always wanted for myself, or am I just going to try working in football in general but not knowing exactly what I was going to be doing? And I was stressing out so much. I was like, oh my God, I just have to decide my career right then and there. I had been offered like a job opportunity, and I was like, well, if I take this job opportunity, then I won't be working in sports media. So that was kind of scary for me. And I think that was when I realized, like, no, I do want to work in sports media. And that's why I just took that opportunity that I had, like, when Fox was helping me with it. I'm setting myself up for success at the end of the day, whether it's like the smallest opportunity or a really big opportunity that they were just assisting me with. It was just right there. So I had to take it.
That's like a great mindset to have, because my dad the other day sent me this video. Just go into a very boring job and just do that and then be creative outside. And my only thing is, I know I have to eat and I know I have to pay bills, but also I want to enjoy what I want to be doing. And I feel like I'm having that, okay, do I just go into marketing for an insurance company and not work in a creative field and really just have this as a creative space? Or do I do something where I'm going to do this full time?
That's the really hard part, I think, about working in sports in general is, you never know if you're going to get the opportunity because it's such a hard industry to get your foot in through the door. A lot of the times they hire people that they either know or they have connections with, or hiring up. Yes, I am fortunate to know the people that I know, but I still haven't had like that opportunity where like they just, say like, okay, you want the job, go do it. My sister is a business kid,
Okay,
like I want nothing to do with business. But, you compare like the two industries, and like one of them is going to make so much money, and the other one is, if you're not at the top of it, you are not going to be making that kind of money.
Top 1% of it. Yeah. That's literally what the video was saying. Like, if you're not top 1% creative, then you won't be able to afford health insurance like that. In that sum of things, it's like, I just really choose with my gut as to, okay, this is going to be something that I'm building, and this is a skill. It's a skill to speak to people, especially how a lot of us are programmed. It's like we don't really know, like with texting and all this stuff. I'm like, it's BS. Like, it's BS. I'm like, I'm more of like a FaceTime girl. What are you? Are you like a call person, text?
Well, okay. My friends say that I text like a man, but I would rather text than
Really?
call.
Okay.
Yeah. Sometimes people will just like sit on the call for no reason. I'm like, I don't need to be seeing your face right now. I don't know if that's mean. I don't
No. It's just preferences. I'm more of like, I have to see visually.
Yeah.
Just the expressions of people.
No, that's why I like doing interviews with people. Like, I get to sit and actually see their reactions. Or like when I tell my friends, like, oh, you like a guy, you need to tell him to his face, not through text, because then you can see how he reacts.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. That's I would not. Like,
I have yet to take that advice.
Yeah.
But I'm really good at giving advice.
Yes. What are some things that have surprised you?
One of the biggest things that did surprise me was, like, yes, there are so many women that are getting into the sports industry, which is so comforting to know that, like, there are people who are going to help build me up. But there are also so many people that still doubt the success you could have. I've been in the situation where there are men who have like hit on me in this field, and it doesn't bother me at all. But like some things that have been said to me, it's like, oh, you're never going to take me seriously. I try and like trust people at 100%. So that way they're very comfortable with me and feel like they can see me in a position of power in a sense,
Yeah.
in sports.
Yeah.
And I've had friends, guy friends, who hear about this and they're like, wow, they are never going to actually like look at you seriously with the way that they have talked to you before, or like with the things that like some of these men have said to you. I want everyone to have a fair shot at being in this industry. It's just so frustrating that there are still people who doubt the success that a woman could have. I have known that I've always wanted to do this since I was a little girl. Little girl meaning high school. Very vividly remember like walking down the stairs at my high school, and this one guy who I was acquaintances with, he asked me like what I wanted to do because I had just posted on Instagram and I was at the Vikings stadium. You could like see it in the background. The caption was, "I'm going to be reporting on the field one day." And I had posted that on Instagram like in high school.
Wait, you did?
I did.
Oh my gosh. Wait. That is so cute. No, I mean, not cute. That's like awesome. You're literally doing that. Like, that's crazy. Yeah.
But I'd posted it, and then this guy who I was acquaintances with, we were walking down the stairs, and he's like, "So what do you actually want to do?" And I was like, "Well, I'm going to be an NFL reporter one day." That was actually my caption. I said, "One day I'm going to be an NFL reporter." And he just looked at me and he was like, "Yeah, that's crazy. That's never going to happen." And I was like, "Yeah, it is." And it's like, no, as a woman, respectfully, and I'm not saying you can't do this, but people are just never going to take you seriously. And I was so upset and in shock that someone could say that to my face because I had just posted confidently that that was something that I knew for a fact I was going to do. And it takes balls to be able to say that in general, like as a woman, to be able to say that to your peers in high school, that that's something that you want to do, and being told that like, no, like it's just not going to happen for you. It was a kick. But I've kept that story at the front of my brain this entire time. I know that one day when I'm on TV, I will shout out this man on the screen. I will say his name, and it will be ingrained in my brain forever. So I'm never going to forget that name. And once he hears that, he is going to be like, "Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot I even said that."
I remember on the phone, you told me about that story on the bus. Was it on the bus? The connector, where like someone asks you. Yeah. Like she's had moments in time when it's like, just show up.
Yeah.
Just show up. Yeah.
A former Gopher D lineman, Boye Mafe, who now plays for the Seattle Seahawks. He was a couple years older than me. I think like 3 years older than me. And my very first week as an equipment manager, he was on the campus connector the same time I was. I was this tiny baby, like freshman girl who did not talk to anyone at all. I was still introverted at the time. And he saw me with my little Gopher backpack and my Gopher sweatshirt. And he came and sat next to me because he recognized me. And he asked me what I wanted to do with my career, like why I'm in the equipment room. I said, well, it's just a way for me to get to know people because I do want to be an NFL reporter one day. And he was like, oh, you want to be an NFL reporter? I said, yeah. He said, okay, ask me 3 questions right now. Interview me. I said, what?
We should insert a picture of like mini Emma.
Oh my God. Being asked that on the spot to just interview someone, and I had never done it before. I was going to pee my pants on that bus. And he is like, I don't know how tall he is, 6'5", 6'6", I don't know, between 6'3" and 6'6".
Yeah.
And the whole time I was just thinking, oh my God, I'm about to embarrass myself so bad to this man.
Oh my gosh.
But then I asked him 3 questions, and he looked at me and he said, I know you're nervous, but you're going to get so much better at that. I was your first interviewee.
That story is going to stick with you like forever. What's your mindset when you go into these conversations with people?
Oh,
because you have like a broad spectrum. I mean, these people have also been doing this forever.
Okay, I call Bleacher Talk a show for the fans hoping for a championship, because the point of my show is I interview people like in the stands of their own stadiums. One, I want the guys or whoever I'm interviewing to be as comfortable as possible, because at the end of the day, like you were saying, it's just like a casual conversation about something that you're passionate about.
Yeah.
Like these people put their whole lives into their career, and for them it's a job. I've heard my job is blah blah blah, to play football, to play basketball. That's my 9 to 5, or that's my whatever. A lot of these people look at these athletes like a high figure to them. And see, okay, I'm a huge NFL girly. If I saw Kyle Rudolph sitting in front of me, I wouldn't even know what to say to him other than thank you for so many amazing, like, end of the game catches for me.
She's fangirling right now. What if one day, like, you interview him, though?
Oh my gosh, that would be a dream. Yes. I wouldn't even know what to say.
Put that on your vision board, for sure.
That is on my vision board.
Yes.
Out of the small talk interviews.
Yeah.
Like, I want to be able to get more information on who a person really is. Aside from this many points today, how did that feel? I want people to understand, like, the true passion a player has for their sport. Sometimes, like, some star players get to give that explanation to the fans if someone does, like, a piece on someone, like Anthony Edwards, for example. But then, like, you see the smaller guys who, like, might not be getting as much screen time. And people, they have fans.
Yeah, they do.
They definitely have fans, but their stories aren't going to be told all the time.
You're solving a problem, though.
I am.
That's so cool. Yes.
I didn't see a story on Kyle Rudolph when I was growing up.
And, like, this time, it'll be, like, recorded and forever just out there as well. So, like, your next steps, just how do you view success in your career? Because I feel like you're really setting up your own measurables.
It's so hard because I'm just going off of my own route.
Yeah, your own rhythm.
Yeah. And I had told myself this year was going to be my year career-wise. So I was really just setting up as many opportunities for myself, whether it was to stress myself out to the max, if that's what it was going to do. I know that whatever I do is going to be for myself. Yes, it's a really hard industry to try and navigate through, whether it's like me having to DM or like email people left and right to try and get an interview. Yeah. And I could be told no a million times, and I just have to keep trying to find someone. The more people that I can get to view my content is the way that I'm going to feel successful in the next steps that I'm doing. For Bleacher Talk, the amount of views that I had gotten on that was significant enough to know that there are people who care enough about these guys or these girls watch my content and see that, oh yeah, like I could sit and watch like a 10-minute interview with this gymnast or with this football player. I'll sit and enjoy it because it's someone that I care to know enough about.
We're coming to a close with Emma, sadly. I think we touched on a little bit about the male gaze with this. What do you say to people who think that women are only in this for male attention?
I think that those people are really selfish. When I was a little girl, I remember my dad like kicking us out of the basement because they were having like their guy Sunday night football watch party. And at that point I was like, well, I'm gonna watch football by myself. And that's when I developed, a passion for actually watching football. The people who say that, women are in sports only because of the male attention think that that sport is just for them. It's so selfish because at the end of the day, I could be passionate about tennis.
Yeah.
I'm not passionate about tennis, unfortunately. Like, I'm not gonna label art as like a female thing or a male thing. I'm not gonna label fashion design as a women-owned industry. It's not like I'm not playing football.
That's the thing.
Like, I'm not playing football. I just love to watch it. At one point, I'd stopped watching other teams for fun because like I was either tired or, you lose interest in the sport itself because you're just so ingrained in it all day, every day.
Yeah.
But being outside of it now, like outside of working directly with a team, the passion that I have for just sitting and watching a game, I could watch 5 games on at once and I will not get bored. Even if it was the Cleveland Browns playing, the Miami Dolphins. And this year they were both horrible. Yeah. I could still just sit and watch this game.
Do you ever like watch it and like think negatively of the people who are on the sideline reporting? I don't. Even when I see a woman on there, you see the memes about being mocked about.
People tweeting about, the women and what they're wearing, or this was such a horrible question. I don't know why she would ask that. There is no way that you're about to tell me some of these men that are on Twitter are going to go on the field, give them 5 seconds, 10 seconds to prep 3 questions and hopefully get 2 of them across. Yeah. There is no way that you're going to either get the answer that you want or that your question's going to come across in a long, detailed, professional way. Sometimes you just freeze up on the spot. There's just so much chaos going around you. It's like, oh, shoot, I have to ask this person a question right now or else he's going to walk away.
That's what they don't see behind the scenes. I mean, I feel like what you see when we put it out there, you see all output, but we put a lot of input, even with anxiety and all these things. Like, how do we stay grounded in this? And I think it's going back to also what I'm learning about women. It's stemming from that idealized version of like how men see some women as just like objects, but I also don't have to get into this one. Like, I'm not,
don't get us started on that one.
No, but you see that it's still there, but you know you have to do it because no one else is going to do it.
Maybe it's a little off topic, but like even today I was on Twitter. Some reporter had posted something on Twitter and it blew up. She was beautiful. And all the comments were just about what she was wearing or, oh, you're my reporter of the month. And that was just it. Like, no one was talking about who she was interviewing or the fact that she had been doing this for years.
Yeah.
And it's so frustrating because I think that at the end of the day, you're just going to see a beautiful woman on your screen.
Yeah.
And whether you pay attention to what she's saying or not, she's doing her job because that's what she's passionate about.
Yeah.
And I want to be able to make it onto a screen without someone commenting on what I look like or the way I'm looking at someone. Like, if a man is 6'8" and I have to look up at him and someone's about to tell me, you know, oh, she's gazing at him like in a weird way. How else am I supposed to stare at someone that is 6'8"? Like, tell me.
No, all my cousins are like that. You're just going to have to do that. Like, I'm sorry. I'm the shortest cousin. Everyone else is like 6 foot and above.
Oh, me too.
So, yeah, really?
Well, not 6 foot.
Okay.
I'm 5'4", so everyone in my family is at least 5'8".
I'm 5'9", but still.
What? That just threw me off so much. I was really thinking it was like, you know, 5'5", and then everyone else in your family is like 6'5".
No.
Talking about this reminded me of this one time when I worked for the Gopher football team as an equipment manager. I had to ball girl for every game.
Oh.
And that was so fun because I'm shorter than everyone, so I couldn't see if I was behind everyone, but I was on the line of scrimmage. So I'd be standing next to the refs, which was so fun, and I could actually see everything, which was so nice.
Emma, you were on the field? That is so cool. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Okay.
There was this one game. We went to Indiana.
Okay.
And I got asked to ball girl on Indiana's sideline. And I had never ball girled for an away team or like for the opposing team. I was always on the home team because that was where I was most comfortable. We beat the crap out of Indiana. Okay. I think at one point the score was like 35-7 or something along those lines. Their team was getting really frustrated with us winning. And so the guys decided to take it out on me, which I had never experienced in my life before.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And you know, like I'm a 5'4". I was on the line of scrimmage. I had to stand next to their head coach who was just screaming the entire time, angry at the refs. I think at one point in the game, one of the Indiana players had gotten an interception and they took our football and they just ran. And my job was to get that football. So I was like, oh, where is it? I haven't seen it. I kept looking around and these guys were laughing at me and I was so confused why they were laughing at me. And all of a sudden, one of their players comes over to me and he was like, yeah, your football's in the trash. And I know like I had no reason to be embarrassed, but I think it was the idea that like all these men were laughing at me because I was just trying to like do my job. I felt embarrassed. He went over, grabbed the football for me, and their strength coach, I believe, he like went over and yelled at the player who did that. In that circumstance, I had told myself, like, I never want to be on the opposing team sideline ever again. In the position of being a woman in sports, that was also a really defining moment for me in knowing that there are going to be so many men that try and, like, beat me down. Looking at it now and knowing how confident I am being a woman in sports, I think I would want other women to... I know it sounds corny, but like you can't be afraid to be a woman in sports because people are going to say something to your face or behind your back no matter how hard you try and avoid it. Whether it's you're in high school and you're hearing drama or you're in college and it's like a friend group or it's in your job. At the end of the day, whatever you're passionate about is going to set you up for the rest of your life. And one day you might have a family and you don't want your kids to be scared to do what they want to do in their career. You don't want them to take the heat by a person who doesn't see you succeeding. So yeah, that was my little spiel.
That was so beautiful.
Thanks.
Yeah. Our last question was, what would you tell that mini Emma?
Mini Emma, I would tell her that you're going to get told no a lot. Whatever you go through in college, whether it's, not knowing what job you want to do or losing your passion for your job and trying to regain it, you, at the end of the day, are going to be okay in whatever you choose to do. And for little Emma, who also heard that you can't have more than one job in the sports industry, that is a big lie. Because I work with a sports agency and I have my own podcast and I'm doing what I want to do while still figuring out if that's something I want to do at the end of the day. Like it's okay to not know what you're doing even at 23 years old. You're just going with the flow of life.
Yeah.
Now this is so generic, but you do only live one life. You do not need to know what you're going to do fresh out of college.
Yes. Yes.
I think back then it was so much easier for people to get a job. Right now we are in such a job crisis situation where it is impossible to find a job.
Me.
At our ripe age.
Yes. Young
and beautiful.
And beautiful.
But I mean, I know at the end of the day, like, this is what I want to do with my career. I want to have a family one day. I want to travel.
Yeah.
You do only live one life. You can't put your life to the side just because you want to have a career.
Yeah.
If all I cared about was making money, I would have taken that first job opportunity I was given. And I would have hated my life, honestly. I've talked to so many people who have gone to that exact same place that I was offered a job, and they said, thank God you didn't go. I think that so many people forget that everything happens for a reason.
I just want to say thank you so much, Emma.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, thank you.
So beautiful.
Where can people find you, and where can people even like follow Bleacher Talk and all of your podcasts?
My Bleacher Talk podcast is now on TikTok. I do use my own personal social media on Instagram to promote all of my stuff. So
okay.
Emma_Gerges, Emma Gerges. You can find me on there. Okay. And I do use YouTube, obviously, a lot. So you can look up Emma Gerges on YouTube. Hopefully my very old Facebook photos do not pop up if you Google me. So please don't do that.
Please don't. Please don't. Thank you, guys. I will see you guys next week. Kisses. I find it that they're very comfortable speaking with you. And I do think that really speaks because I'm just saying, if I was in your space, I would like shit my pants.
And oh my God.
See, I'm like, water. It's definitely the weather. I'm not gonna sound sexy, guys. This is not my sexy voice.
Industry is so vast and oh my God.
It's okay.
Okay.